Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel and welcome to Meals in the Making for this week. This week we are not using an Instant Pot, we're not using a slow cooker, but we are doing a pretty simple meal. You've probably thought about this recipe when you go out to a Chinese restaurant, but today we're gonna be making my rendition and my Lean and Green approved version of beef and broccoli. So let me show you exactly what you need for this recipe. For this recipe, you will need 2 pounds of frozen or 24 ounces of cooked 95% or more lean ground beef, 2 cups of broccoli, 3 tablespoons of margarine, 4 tablespoons of low sodium soy sauce, 4 teaspoons of less sodium teriyaki sauce, 1 teaspoon of ground ginger, and 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do is go ahead and melt your margarine in your pan. This is gonna help to flavor up your ground beef, but actually you're only gonna use half of it, so don't put all of it in there just yet. 1.5 tablespoons of margarine so that we can flavor up our ground beef. Once this is melted, go ahead and throw in your ground beef and we're gonna brown that up. Okay, looks like we are just about melted. The next thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and add in my ground beef. Okay, so I've got my meat in there. It's pretty much thawed, but not all the way. So I'm gonna let this brown up a little bit in my margarine. Almost said butter. Margarine. Which, if anybody knows, what is the difference between margarine and butter? I definitely don't know. So I'm gonna let this brown up, and for the sake of my camera battery, I am going to not show the whole process. The next thing I'm gonna do while I have the camera kind of turned off and resting is I'm going to take 2 cups of broccoli, and actually I'm gonna do 4 cups because I'm making beef and broccoli for Robbie and our friends tonight with some flank steak, different thing. But I'm gonna go ahead and take 2 cups of broccoli and make sure that they're cut into small enough florets. You don't have to cut them all the way down, but you wanna go ahead and just make sure that they're not too large. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut those down while this is browning, and we'll be back to you right after that. Okay, as you can see in here, this is pretty much done. So I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna drain it. There's not much left as far as like butter or oil or grease, but I'm still gonna drain it and set it aside in a bowl, and then we'll get to the broccoli. There we go. I'm gonna let that melt. Shouldn't take as long since it's still pretty hot from the meat, but I have turned it down some. Once this is done and finished melting, I'm going to put my broccoli in here and partially cover it for 4 to 5 minutes. If you like your broccoli softer, let it go for about 2 minutes longer than that. Okay, this is done, so I'm gonna pour in my broccoli. This has been washed and chopped. And I'm gonna partially cover it, like I said. I'm gonna set a timer for about 4 to 5 minutes, but I am gonna stir it occasionally. Okay, while my broccoli's going, I'm gonna go ahead and get started on the sauce that's gonna go over it, like my stir-fry sauce. Actually, I'm gonna stir this real fast. I have this between medium and low heat, just because I don't wanna burn all this stuff. Okay, cover it back. Okay, so now I'm gonna add everything else. So my garlic, my ginger, my soy sauce, my teriyaki sauce. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna add that to this bowl, and then I'm gonna pour this over my broccoli and my beef at the very end, and then it'll be done. So let me add all that right now to my bowl. So 4 tablespoons of low sodium soy sauce is first. And then 4 teaspoons of low sodium teriyaki sauce. You do not have to use low sodium of either of these. I just choose to. Woo! Normally in a beef and broccoli recipe, you would use brown sugar, but I'm using teriyaki for a sweetness, but not the sugar part, if that makes any sense. Next goes in 1 teaspoon of ginger. And then lastly, I'm gonna add in my 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. This would equal 4 cloves of garlic. Awesome. Go ahead and give that a stir, and that's gonna be your topping sauce, or your stir-fry sauce, I guess you could say. So I'm gonna turn my heat off, actually, because everything is cooked and pretty much warm. I'm gonna pour my beef back into this. And to be truthful, if you want to use all of your green for broccoli, you definitely can. And use, instead of 2 cups, you can use 6 cups of broccoli. But on a normal day, I would want to put this over cauliflower rice. You can see the broccoli is looking a little scarce. That's okay. You can add more broccoli if you want to. But on a normal day, I'm going to put this over cauliflower rice. And I really love cauliflower rice. So I would prefer that over broccoli. But measure it but adjust it however you need to. So now that this is all kind of mixed together, I'm gonna pour in my stir-fry sauce. Make sure you get all of it. It started to cook really fast, so I pulled it off for a second just so all of my sauce wouldn't totally evaporate. And I'm just kind of giving it a good stir. Looks and smells amazing. So excited to throw this over some cauliflower rice. But this itself, without the cauliflower rice, is 4 servings. And 1 serving equals 1 leaner, 1 green, half of a healthy fat, and 3 condiments for the day. So I hope you enjoy. So thanks guys so much for joining me today for another Meals in the Making, another Lean and Green approved meal. I want to thank you for always supporting me. Like I've been saying for the past couple times, I love to hear your scale victories and especially your non-scale victories, because to me, in my book, those, especially now as I'm learning on this second time around that my body is a little bit different than the first time I lost the weight, non-scale victories really keep me going. So if they keep you going as well, drop those down below. I'd love to celebrate with you. But until next time, I love you all and God bless you.